Hello strikers, welcome back to the Premier League. The 2025-2026 season kicked off in a true dramatic fashion at Anfield as Liverpool hosted Bournemouth in a 6-goal thriller. This was a match that had everything: new signings making an impact, a stunning comeback, and a truly emotional tribute. The Reds started strong, and new signing Hugo Ekitike making his mark on debut. He scored in the 37th minute to give Liverpool the lead, then turned provider for Cody Gakpo, who doubled the advantage just after halftime. It looked like a comfortable night for the champions, but Bournemouth had other ideas. The comeback was all about one man, Antoine Semenyo. What a guy. The Bournemouth striker was on fire, scoring a brilliant brace to level the game. His second goal, in particular, was a moment of pure class. He picked up the ball from deep in his own half and drove forward, finishing with power and precision to chuck the Anfield crowd. Just like that, 2-2. But Liverpool showed their championship spirit. In a frantic finish, Federico Chiesa came off the bench to score his first Premier League goal in the 88th minute, putting Liverpool back in front. Then, in stoppage time, as always, typical, Mohamed Salah sealed the victory with a classic, ruthless finish. The final score, Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2, a chaotic, brilliant start to the new season. Next up in the opening weekend, it was a clash of Champions League hopefuls as Aston Villa hosted Newcastle at Villa Park. This was a tactical battle of wits, but it was also a story of missed opportunities and a moment of madness that changed the entire game. The match started at a frantic pace, with Newcastle dominating possession and creating the better chances. They had a massive 59% of the ball, but they just couldn't find the finishing touch. The big moment came in the second half when Villa defender Ezri Konsa received a straight red card for a last-man foul on Newcastle's Anthony Gordon. This left Villa with just 10 men for the final 24 minutes. The standout performance of the day has to be Aston Villa defense, who were absolutely heroic after going down a man, despite facing a barrage of attacks from Newcastle, including 16 shots in total. They held firm. The debut performance of the goalkeeper Marco Bizot was also a major highlight in the game, as he made a number of crucial saves to keep his side in the game and secure the clean sheet. At the end, it was a goalless draw, 0-0. Newcastle will be frustrated, having failed to capitalize on their numerical advantage and having had a better of the chances all game long. For Aston Villa, it's a massive point earned, showing immense resilience and defensive spirit on the opening day of the season. Next up, we have Brighton and Fulham. What a finish this was! Brighton hosted Fulham in a match that looked to be a comfortable home win, but a dramatic late twist in the tale left both sides with a point on the opening weekend. Brighton dominated the ball with over 60% possession, and they finally made it count just after the break. A penalty was awarded for a foul on Jorginho Roeder, and new signing Matt O'Reilly stepped up to calmly slot it home. With the clock ticking down, it seemed Brighton would hold on for the win. The late heroics belonged to Fulham's Rodrigo Muniz. In the 96th minute, deep into stoppage time, Fulham won a corner. After a scramble in the box, the ball fell to Muniz, who smashed it home for a dramatic last gasp equalizer. It was a moment of pure disbelief at the Amex Stadium. The match ended 1-1, a bitter pill for Brighton to swallow after being so close to victory. For Fulham, it's a point that feels like a win, earned with a never say die attitude. The late goal means both teams start the new season with a single point, setting the stage for an exciting campaign ahead. What a return to the top flight for Sunderland. The Black Cats, back in the Premier League after an 8-year absence, hosted West Ham at the Stadium of Light, and they put on a sensational performance for their home fans. The first half was a tight affair, with West Ham dominating possession, holding a 63% share of the ball, but they couldn't break down a resolute Sunderland defense. The home side were disciplined and organized, with their defenders making crucial clearances. The game was won in a sensational second half burst. First, in the 61st minute, Eliezer Mayenda scored with a powerful header to open the scoring. Then, just 12 minutes later, Dan Ballard doubled the lead with a fantastic header of his own. Dan Ballard was truly the star of the show. Not only did he score a brilliant goal, but he was also a rock at the back, making a game-high 8 clearances and winning 10 duels. His performance was the foundation of Sunderland's victory. The match was sealed in stoppage time, then substitute Wilson Isidore scored to make it 3, putting a glorious exclamation point on a dream return to the Premier League. The final score was Sunderland 3, West Ham 0. It was a perfect day for the home side, with 3 goals, a clean sheet, and a performance that showed they belong back in the top division. For West Ham, it's a difficult start to the season, with their possession counting for nothing and their attack failing to find a way through. And next in line, we have Tottenham and Burnley. What a start to the new era at Tottenham. Under new manager Thomas Frank, Spurs welcome newly promoted Burnley to the Tottenham's Hotspur Stadium for a sensational display of attacking football and a moment of pure magic from their star striker. Tottenham took control early, dominating possession 68% of the ball. The new signing, Mohamed Kudus, made an instant impact on his debut, providing a perfectly weighted cross for Richarlison to volley home in the 10th minute. The two combined again after the hour mark, but this time Richarlison produced a goal that will be replayed for years to come. The moment of the match, and an early contender for goal of the season, was Richarlison's second strike. After Kudus once again delivered a cross, the Brazilian striker launched into an acrobatic bicycle kick, hammering the ball into the back of the net. The stadium erupted. Just 6 minutes later, Brennan Johnson added a third with a calm finish to seal a comfortable win. The final score was 3-0 to Tottenham. A perfect start for Thomas Frank. Richarlison's 2 goals and Brennan Johnson's strike show the Spurs' attack is firing on all cylinders. For Burnley, it was a tough return to the EPL, but they will look to regroup and find their form in the coming weeks. Manchester City, the defending champions, came out of the gates flying in their season opener. They traveled to Molino to face a Wolves side that just couldn't keep up with their blistering attack. This was a statement win for City and a clear sign of their intent for the new season. City quickly took control, dominating possession with over 65% of the ball and creating chance after chance after chance. Their breakthrough came from a familiar face as Erling Haaland scored in the 34th minute, putting City in front. Just moments later, new signing Tijani Reinders doubled the lead with a fantastic strike, leaving Wolves stunned as they went into half trailing 2-0. The brilliance of Erling Haaland was on full display. He wasn't done after his first goal, sealing his brace with another clinical finish in the second half. He's now scored on the opening day in every single one of his EPL seasons. Another standout moment came from substitute Ryan Cherky, who scored a brilliant debut goal just 8 minutes after coming on to complete the route. The final score was 4-0 to Man City. It was a dominant performance from start to finish, with their new signings making a significant impact and their star striker proving once again that he is a face to be reckoned with. For Wolves, it's a very difficult start to the season, but for City, it's a perfect beginning to their title defense. London Derby time! Chelsea kicked off their season at Stamford Bridge, hosting a very well-drilled Crystal Palace side. This was a match dominated by one team, but it will be remembered for a controversial moment at the home team's struggle to find the back of the net. Chelsea had a massive 71% of the ball throughout the game and fired off a total of 19 shots. But for all their pressure, they just couldn't break through. The game's biggest talking point came early when Crystal Palace thought they had the lead. A brilliant free kick from Eberechi Eze found the back of the net, but after VAR check, the goal was ruled out because a Crystal Palace player was standing too close to the Chelsea wall. It was a tough call, but the new stadium VAR announcement system was used to explain the decision to the crowd. While Chelsea had all the possession and shots, the real standout performance came from Crystal Palace defense. They were organized, disciplined, and put their bodies on the line to frustrate the home side. Goalkeeper Dean Henderson was also excellent, making several crucial saves to keep his side in the game. Chelsea's new signing, Stevao, he had an exciting debut, injecting some pace into the attack when he came on, but even he couldn't find a way past the Eagles' backline. The final score? 0-0. It's a frustrating result for Chelsea, who will feel they should have won. But Crystal Palace is a very valuable point on the road against a top opponent. Both teams will have plenty to think about as they head into the next week of the season. Guess who's back? Back again. Forest is back in the Premier League, and they celebrated their return in style. They faced Brentford in their season opener at City Ground, and the home crowd was treated to a dominant performance from start to finish. The match was all about Forest's attacking force. It was just 5 minutes for Chris Wood to score, following a corner that Brentford failed to clear. New signing Dan Ndoye then doubled the lead with a fantastic header just before halftime. But the best was yet to come. In first half stoppage time, Chris Wood grabbed his second goal of the game to put Forest in a commanding 3-0 lead. The standout performer was definitely Chris Wood, who picked up right where he left off from last season. His second goal was a moment of class, as he calmly rounded the keeper and slided the ball into the empty net. Morgan Gibbs-White also deserves a mention for his incredible passing and creativity, especially his perfect cross to Ndoye's goal. Brentford did manage to pull one back late with a penalty shot, but it was far too late to make a difference. The final score was Forest 3, Brentford 1. It was a dream start for Forest, who showed they have the quality to compete in the Premier League. For Brentford, it was a tough day at the office, as they were simply outplayed by a more determined side on the day. And now, for the biggest match of the opening weekend, Manchester United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford. This was billed as the clash of the giants, and it didn't disappoint, serving up a tense tactical battle with a result that could set the tone for the entire season. Manchester United dominated the game, holding 61% of their possession and firing off an incredible 22 shots, but they just couldn't find a way past Arsenal's rigid defense. The only goal of the game came early, in the 13th minute, from a corner. Declan Rice's delivery caused a mix-up in the United box, and Arsenal's new signing, Ricardo Calafiori, was there to head it home from close range. The standout performance belonged to Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya, who was absolutely immense. He was peppered with shots all game long, making 7 crucial saves to keep his team in the lead. He was forced into several high-quality stops, including a fantastic fingertip save to deny a powerful header from Brian Bomu. Despite having just 9 shots on goal themselves, Arsenal showed their title credentials by grinding out a tough win on the road. The final score was 1-0 to Arsenal. While Man U would be disappointed with the result, their performance was much improved, and their new signings showed real promise. For Arsenal, it was a classic 1-0 win, a gritty performance that showed they can win even when they aren't the best team on the field. They now join Liverpool and Manchester City with 3 points on the board, setting up an exciting start to the title race. And so the first weekend of the Premier League season comes to a close with a thrilling encounter at Elland Road. Leeds United, fresh off their promotion, welcomed Everton to a packed and loud stadium. This was a battle of two sides with different ambitions, decided by a single controversial moment. Leeds United completely dominated the first half, putting Everton under relentless pressure. They had a huge share of possession, over 50%, and fired off an incredible 12 shots in the first 45 minutes alone. Everton, on the other hand, couldn't manage a single shot of their own. For all of their attacking force, Leeds just couldn't find a goal, and the game remained locked at 0-0 until the final few minutes. The decisive moment came in the 84th minute. A shot from Leeds' Anton Stach deflected off the arm of Everton's James Tarkowski. After a quick VAR check, the referee pointed to the penalty spot. The Elland Road crowd roared as substitute Lucas Meka, making his debut, calmly stepped up and slotted the penalty into the bottom corner. It was a moment of pure relief and joy for the home fans. For Everton, a late cameo for new loan signing Jack Grealish couldn't change the outcome. The final whistle blew with the score 1-0 to Leeds United. It was a deserved win for the home side, who showed incredible desire and fighting spirit. This victory marks a perfect return to the Premier League for Leeds, who joined Sunderland as the two promoted teams to win on the opening weekend. For Everton, it's a disappointing start to their new season.